On August 7th of last year, CNN reported a heartbreaking story that unfolded in Ohio when a police officer pulled up to a local pharmacy to find a 7-year-old boy standing outside of the pharmacy trying to sell his toy dog to get enough money to buy food that he didn't have at home. Now, thankfully, our story takes a turn for the best when the police officer actually took that 7-year-old out to eat, got him fed, talked to him, and solved the problems that he was having at home. Unfortunately, for millions of Americans, hunger and food insecurity are major problems that they face on a daily basis. In fact, in 2015, the National Commission on Hunger found that 6.9 million households had at least one member who faced hunger on a recurring basis for 7 or more months out of that year. To put that in perspective, that's about 5.6% of all households in the United States. So hunger is a huge issue, and it doesn't discriminate between age, race, gender, or even cultures. It affects everybody. In fact, it affects everybody, even those of us who can afford to put food on the table, because hunger has an impact on our healthcare system. Our healthcare system is taxed in the first place, but it has a workload levied on it that's completely unnecessary because hunger has caused malnourished, underfed people to have completely preventable disorders that are being presented to our healthcare system that are putting a weight on it that doesn't have to be there. Hunger also impacts our education system because we have children who are at school who are hungry. And when our kids are hungry at school, they're not focusing on the material. They're not focusing on learning. They're focusing on an empty stomach. And one way that hunger really touches everybody in the United States is its impact that it has on our economy. Hunger impacts our economy because when our workers are going to work hungry because they don't have the resources that they need to put food on the table at home, their productivity goes way down. And unfortunately, absenteeism due to hunger goes through the roof. So hunger's impact on the economy hits each and every one of us because we're all involved in the economy of the United States. Now, further research into hunger and how many people in the United States are hungry has found in research done by the National Foundation on Hunger that 15.8% of our nation's senior citizens are food insecure. Now, food insecurity means that it's the state of being where a person does not have readily accessible, nutritious food of a good quantity. Further research has found in the Household Food Security in the United States research that 1 out of 10 households with children have at least one member who faces hunger on a frequent basis. So from these statistics, these numbers, you can see that hunger is a major problem in the United States and is one that needs to be addressed. And thankfully, it is being addressed. The Feeding America Foundation has been working for years to combat hunger in the United States. They represent about 80% of the food banks in the United States. That was found in the Shepherd Stern and Cooper research done in 2011. Feeding America actually provides 4 billion meals each and every year to people who need them. That represents about 46 million people who are benefiting from this program. And by the numbers, that means about 1 out of every 8 Americans reaches out to Feeding America to help put food on the table. It's a great program. A lot of charities put a significant quantity of their funds into administrative costs, but Feeding America puts 98% of the funds they receive into the programs that they provide. Now, if Feeding America gets its way, hunger in the United States will be eliminated because not only do they provide for meals for those who can't provide them themselves, but they also put money into research that is aimed at ending the struggle of hunger in the United States. Research that will hopefully eliminate the problem of hunger that we face here. Now, if Feeding America continues on its current path, we can look at a future where 7-year-olds aren't standing in front of pharmacies looking to sell their toys so that they can find enough food to eat. We can look at a world where where children are not malnourished, they're fed, they're focusing on their coursework in school, and they have the energy to work towards becoming successful and productive members of our society. So, what can you do to help Feeding America achieve these goals? Well, first thing you can do is volunteer. Volunteering is one thing they really need in Feeding America. They have over 200 food banks and over 60,000 food pantries in the United States. So there's plenty of opportunities for you to get out there and volunteer your time and make your efforts count towards preventing hunger in the United States. And of course, the other thing you can do, what I highly encourage you to do, regardless of if you volunteer or not, because each and every one of us has a busy lifestyle, a busy schedule, and sometimes volunteering doesn't fit into that schedule, is to donate. Feeding America runs off of donations. And for every dollar that Feeding America receives, 11 meals are put in front of people who are in desperate need of food. So each and every dollar that you put out to Feeding America goes towards helping those 46 million people who are reaching out for help from Feeding America. Now, the funds that you help provide to Feeding America go towards those food banks, towards those pantries that they're operating in the United States. And it also goes towards that research that we were talking about, where they're trying to end hunger once and for all in the United States. And the last thing I'd like to end on is research that was done in the Paycheck to Pantry study, where one of the deliverables in the study stated that the charitable sector is critical to hunger relief efforts in the United States. That's absolutely true. Without the private sector, without the charitable sector, hunger in the United States would be a much bigger problem than it is today. So I ask each and every one of you to find it in your hearts to either volunteer, donate, or do both. Without your support, we cannot end hunger in our country.